Hey everybody, Decent Eddie here. It's Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. Right now, my confident moneyline picks for WNBA are sitting at 80%, and I'm at 64% for all WNBA games this season. Please like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell for daily picks before tip-off on the day of the game, and remember, always check matchup news and injury reports about 20 minutes before tip-off. Past data only tells part of the story, and sudden changes do make a difference with the WNBA. My goal is to help you make more informed and statistically grounded decisions. While my data set focuses on moneyline picks, my analysis may be useful for spread and over-under bets. And today's a weird one. Let's get into today's games. We have an 11 a.m. tip-off. Got to go. Storm heading to face the Sun. Storm get a decent Eddie confident pick with a 4.974 differential in their favor, suggesting a win probability of 89%. The market totally agrees, implying over a 95% chance of a Storm win. The qualitative data backs this up entirely. The Storm are on a 2-game road win streak, showcasing a good offense and a really potent defense. They've already beaten the Sun by 16 this season. The Sun, on the other hand, they're in a free fall, and it's sad to see, but it's the reality. They're last in the league with a dismal 2-16 record and a 10-game losing streak. Their offense is last in every category in my data set but 2, and their defense is just as bad. To make matters worse, they're still dealing with major injuries. The spread, last I looked, is sitting at a massive 18 points for Seattle. While our numbers indicate a blowout, the Storm are at the tail end of a pretty long road trip. The focus might shift to getting their team healthy and rested rather than pushing for a huge cover, maybe. There's been some movement on the line towards the Sun covering, which is a key qualitative signal as well. That said, I honestly would be cautious at 18 for the Storm against the spread. So does that mean maybe consider 18 plus for the Sun? Maybe don't play against the spread? Well, all right, so let me explain that choice for a minute. With that differential in my data and the implied win probability for the Storm by the books, even if Storm rested their players, a blowout is still possible. The disparity between these teams is gigantic, and I'm unsure if there's a strong qualitative override against the quantitative. The Sun have already lost to the Storm by 16 points, and that was when they were healthy. Personally, I look at the data, I look at the past matchups, and consider the Sun's health. Even if the Storm take it easy, 18 points is still a big leap for a team this bad if you're going to go with the Sun. I honestly, I think you could take Seattle at 18. It's a big chunk. So I would really search your hearts on that one. For the total, which last I looked was 155.5 points, with Connecticut's anemic offense, especially without Mabry, she's out, and Seattle's really stingy defense, I'm kind of leaning towards the under here. It's tough to see the Sun contributing enough points to hit the over, so the Storm are probably winning this game, right? But nothing is 100%. The moneyline offers very little value. Nevertheless, I'm taking Storm to win on the moneyline because of my data. Next, we've got Valkyries versus Fever. Fever get a razor-thin danger pick with a differential of .921, which implies about a 51% chance for the Fever to win. However, the market and I do not agree. The Fever are currently favored by 7.5 points by the books on the spread, with a 79% chance for a Fever win implied. That difference mostly comes down to Caitlin Clark. She is expected to return from her injury today, and the market is clearly pricing in a huge impact. That's why I always say to read today's news. Data is from the past and is mostly accurate and good at forecasting, but the news on the day is essential reading. The Fever, when she plays, they're an elite offensive team with almost the best field goal percentage in my data. Plus their top tier 3-point defense is there too. You got to consider it. But here's where some caution comes in. How effective will Clark truly be after missing 5 games? While she has practiced, there's always uncertainty in a return from injury. The Valkyries, despite their recent road struggles and defensive lapses, do boast the second best defense in points allowed. They also beat the Fever by 11 earlier this season. That -7.5 spread for the Fever is kind of risky. For the total of 160 5.5. With the Fever's potent offense and the Valkyrie showing some recent defensive cracks, I'm actually leaning on the over here. But overall, this game is a prime example of betting where the qualitative judgment is there, especially on a star player's health. That study and that knowledge on the qualitative, not the quantitative, is paramount. Stay sharp, and as always, check those last-minute news reports. A danger pick is an implied no play on the money line by my data, but I'm going to take the Fever for my data. While the qualitative information regarding Clark's return today is there, could this be a suboptimal pick on the money line? Yeah, I mean, you can do what you want, but I do like things safe when I'm telling friends what to do, or advising them. I would never tell you to do anything. Lynx versus Mercury. Mercury get a danger pick with a 0.185 differential, implying a 51% chance for the Mercury to win. The past data says one thing, but there are real-world qualitative factors today that do say another, and I mean it. The market has the Lynx as 7-point favorites right now, implying a 78% chance of a Lynx win. So what's causing this disconnect? It's different than the last game. And why is the qualitative override here different from our Valkyrie's Fever game? They are both danger picks, right? Well, the key is the Mercury's injury situation. To be frank, unlike Caitlin Clark's return for the Fever, the Mercury are dealing with the likely absence or severe limitation of two of their top scorers. They're listed this morning as out, and the other is day to day. Of course, you got Lexi Held. I mean, she's out for the season. This isn't about uncertain effectiveness like it is with Caitlin Clark, to put it simply. It's about a definitive and massive depletion of the offensive firepower against the league's absolute best defense. And let's talk about that. The Lynx are the league's top team. They're on a 5-game winning streak, boasting both an elite offense and a suffocating defense that allows the fewest points per game. They've already beaten the Mercury twice this season, including a super dominant 22-point road win. Against the spread, I'd lean towards the Lynx at -7 against the spread and strongly consider the under at 160. Given Lynx's defense and Mercury's depleted scoring potential, the money line, the bread and butter of my safety first picks is for new bettors, right? This is a prime example of how severe qualitative factors can completely swing a no play into at least a suboptimal pick on the qualitative side. Forget the data for a minute. Given the overwhelming qualitative information, the Lynx's dominance, Mercury's critical injuries, the market's heavy favor for the Lynx is justified, honestly. Therefore, unlike the Fever game where we invited caution on the money line, here the Lynx money line, while it is a danger pick by my raw quantitative data on past performances, the real pick is on qualitative due to today's news, providing an override to our quantitative no play. So basically what I'm saying is, on the money line picks, yeah, my math says don't do it. It's a danger pick. But the news, the stuff that's coming out, that says at least suboptimal on the money line, okay? Dallas Wings versus Chicago Sky. Chicago's the best city on earth. This one lands as a danger pick, slightly favoring the Wings with my numbers at a 0.632 differential, implying a 51% chance for the Wings to win by my numbers. The books have the Sky as 1-point favorites with an implied 55% win probability. Both our numbers and the market kind of agree on one thing, though. This will be a hard game to predict. The Sky have weak legs tonight, but they've also lost their last two. A key factor for them is the probable return of Camila Cardoso, whose presence will boost their interior game for sure. The Wings, I mean, they've shown some recent against the spread improvement, but their entire offensive outlook hinges on the status of two major players who reportedly, just this morning, did not travel with the team. That means the Wings scoring is going to be impacted. For the money line, my quantitative data says danger, and with the significant injury news for Dallas and Chicago on a back-to-back, a direct money line pick is definitely risky. The spread at 1 point is also a little risky. I'd say it's suboptimal if we're going to use my money line nomenclature. But with the injury news for the Wings and Sky being at home, I can see the rationale for a play on Sky against the spread at -1. So let's go to one thing that feels a little bit more solid. The over-under here is 165.5 points. Their two previous matchups saw a lot of points, combining for 189 and 177 points. Both significantly cleared the current total. These teams play with good amount of pace. They excel on the offensive glass. for second chance points. Frankly, their defenses have shown some vulnerabilities. So while the red flags are real in this game, the unique matchup dynamics between the Wings and Sky has consistently led to higher scoring. It's a calculated lean on the over at 165.5 points, trusting that specific historical trend to override the current mitigating factors. It's a riskier overpick for those reasons, but one grounded in their compelling head-to-head injury. I will take the Wings on the money line for my data, but if a friend were to ask me about this game on the money line, I'd tell them to hold on to their money. It's not safe here. All right, that's it, guys. I got to get this thing out the door. Decent Eddie confident money line picks. Storm, Decent Eddie suboptimal picks. We don't really have any by the numbers. Danger money line picks just by the numbers. Forget the qualitative. This is quantitative. Numbers, math, right? Wings, Mercury, Fever are danger money line picks. For parlays, as you know, I will include confident picks in parlays. So if you put Storm on the money line and with another leg between -400 and -450 odds, your win probability is around 72%. Add a third leg at those same odds, your win probability goes to 57%. I will always endorse a 3-leg parlay with odds between -400 and -450, because if you do that, your odds of winning, your probability is going to stay above 50%. But regardless of what you choose, I never recommend more than a 3-leg parlay due to the risks of combined probabilities. Okay? And remember, don't spend more than 10% of your bankroll in total across all your wagers in a day. Never chase losses, and if you need help with a gambling problem, check out my channel's description. All right, so thanks for watching, guys. If you found this video helpful, please hit like, subscribe, tap the bell, leave a comment, get my picks on the day of the game before tip-off. Follow me on Decent Eddie Picks on Instagram. You can see me on Facebook. You can see me at X, Decent Eddie Picks, spelled P-I-X. TikTok, decent.eddies.picks. Sometimes I'll put team grades there, last-minute thoughts there. But hey, this is a long day. Let's see what happens. This is Decent Eddie signing off. Have an awesome day.